in this video, I am going to be reviewing the Morphe. So I'm going to be reviewing the Morphe foundation and the Morphe concealers. I have been wanting to try this foundation for a very long time. I just haven't had the chance to come on here and review it. I've been so busy lately, guys, and so that's why I haven't been able to review this foundation. The foundation color that I'm going to be using is 3.70. So the foundation goes for $18, and they have 60 shades, which is phenomenal, I believe. I actually didn't have a hard time finding my foundation. It was just the process that I had to go through to try to find my foundation. But it says that this is a 24-hour long wear, sweat-proof, transfer-resistant, water-resistant, free of oils, fragrance, and parabens, and great for all skin types. So like I said, I have the color 3.70, and this color is said to be, this is neutral, and it's for tan with slightly golden undertones. So when I read that, I knew immediately that this was my shade. So I swiped it on my chest, and whenever I went to the store that day, I had foundation on. So I kind of just wiped off a little area on my face and just put a little bit on there, and it really matched me good. I just want to see the difference between my face and my neck, so I'm just eager to do that. And I'm going to do swatches here in just a second. So I got two color concealers. I got a slightly lighter one, and then I got a neutral color one that was kind of just a little bit lighter than the foundation. I believe the concealers come in 32 shades, if I'm not mistaken. I will make sure I put all the information down below or in this video. But the concealers, they claim to be 16-hour long wearing, so not 24 hours. Sweat-proof, transfer-resistant, water-resistant, free of fragrance and parabens, and ophthalmologist tested. Ophthalmologist is an eye doctor, so I'm assuming they did that so to see if this wouldn't irritate your eyes, because this was probably some ingredients in here that they probably thought would irritate eyes, so that's probably why they had it tested by a eye doctor. So in this concealers, I have the colors C.55 and then 3.45. The C.45 is neutral tan with slightly peach undertones. Then the 3.55 is warm tan with golden undertones. So I really wanted to get something that I really thought would complement my undertone and then also against my foundation. So that's why I got these two. I'm hoping it works. Let's do the 3.55. This is the 3.45. And then I'm taking my Tarte Shape Tape, just like I did with the Fenty. And I'm going to set it right here. 3.45. It's neutral with slightly peach undertones. I did have a hard time finding my color that I wanted in the concealer. Because a lot of the concealers had like peach and, look at my swatch. A lot of the colors had peach and gold undertones and things like that. Like there was nothing just for neutral with golden undertones for me, just kind of like how the foundation is. My foundation is neutral with slightly gold undertones, which is good. I thought I was going to be able to find a concealer the same way, but they didn't have it. So these are the concealers. And this is, this is the foundation. This is the foundation here. It is slightly light, but honestly, y'all, this was the only foundation that would have worked for me. Like everything else was just a no-go. So once this dries down, y'all see, like basically it's already starting to disappear. So let's go ahead and move the hair out of the face. Now I do know that this foundation is very drying, and just from reading up on reviews, I didn't watch a lot of videos, but reading up on reviews, I saw a lot of people say that it was very drying. Some people compared it to like the Huda Beauty as far as how drying it is. So to me, this smells like my exactly like my LA Colors foundation in the color Cafe. As a matter of fact, hold on just a second. They smell exactly the same, y'all. $18, $6. So let's go ahead and put this foundation next to my Morphe foundation. And this Cafe, y'all know if y'all watched that video, is if y'all watched my video reviewing the LA Colors foundation, this is my exact color of my skin. It's very neutral with golden undertones. So I'm going to sit this right here so y'all can see how close it is in color with my Morphe, which has dried down already from me talking. Then the Cafe, which is here next to it. So this is Cafe and this is the Morphe 3.70. As you can see, these colors are so similar. Actually, if y'all want me to, I can do it on my face. So this is the Morphe and this is LA Colors that smells exactly like this Morphe foundation. When I smelled it, I knew immediately that this smelled exactly the same. So if you use me as a color reference, definitely start out with a 370, like get a sample. If they let you, I don't know if they let you get a sample. Definitely try out the 370 and then work your way like around it. You can't work your way down, because when I tried to work my way down from 370, thinking that, you know, maybe it would be a difference or whatever, it wasn't. And the ones that are a lot higher than this is just dark. Okay, so what I'm gonna use is, I already put a moisturizer on my face, and so what else I'm gonna use on my face is this Too Faced Hangover Primer. I really love this along with my Versali, so I'm going to use both of these. Actually going to kind of oversaturate, something I wish I would have tried out with the Huda Beauty foundation before I took it back, but I just really didn't like how thick and full coverage it was. I just didn't think that it worked for me. So then I'm gonna take my my Tatcha Luminous Dewy Skin Mist, and I'm just gonna spray it right here in the area where I just put the silk canvas, just so it's not extra drying. I did get the Morphe sponge, but I really don't like this one. To me, that one kind of don't feel like the same material as that other one. So I don't know, I think I'm just tripping. But I am gonna go in with the M439. This is the brush I use all the time. As you can see, it is dirty. I need to wash it. I look crazy. Definitely, this is probably not my color, but like I told y'all, this was the closest I could have gotten to my skin color. Out of all 60 shades, this was the closest. Definitely, I'm gonna wait until this dries down before I completely judge it. This is definitely not my color, and honestly, let me get a beauty blender, y'all. So I'm going to try to just dab around. I know it's probably already kind of dry on my skin, but I am not liking this color match. This color is supposed to be neutral with slight golden undertones, but I don't see. This looks completely just neutral. Let's go in with the concealer and see what happens. I'm gonna go in a little bit under my eyes with this peach. This is supposed to be neutral with peach undertone. So I just want to see if maybe that will kind of balance this color out. I do like how smooth and creamy that concealer went on. It's very creamy. I actually like that. Let me add maybe a little more. I don't know what it is, but something is seriously slightly tingling after I put that concealer on. I don't know what it is. Just keep going because I don't know. Let's see. Now I'm gonna add a little bit of this concealer here. So hard to blend this Fenty matchstick. I know my Fenty foundation is matte, but I never have a hard time blending it in. Okay, so we're gonna go in with the Laura Mercier and hope that this starts to look good. I definitely use the perfect combination underneath this foundation because I do not feel dry at all. And I don't look dry either. And that was my main concern. Okay. Still looking like a ghost, but I think I can maybe fix this with the powder. This powder was the only powder that I thought was really going to complement my skin well. Some were too light and some were just too dark. I know this one is really not really my color, but honestly I think this is gonna work because I can use this as a bronzer. So I'm just going in with just a little bit of blush. Bring some kind of color back because this was too neutral to me. Just like way too neutral. Okay y'all, so this is my finished overall look. I think I made it work, and I think I made it work because of the powder that I got, and then I think I made it work because I used you know, I just bronzed my face, used the peach highlighter, which I can't really tell that it looks peach at all. I am just looking closer to my skin, and already it's creasing. It's creasing bad actually. But I mean, for $18, honestly, I would expect that my creasing would come way much later, and then I also would expect that it wouldn't, I don't know, like around my nose it just kind of looks like, I can kind of tell where I sprayed the Fix Plus, and then I can also kind of tell where I sprayed where you know, like the areas where I want it to be dewy. I can tell like those areas. I'm sorry, I'm looking into my monitor. I can tell in those areas that the foundation is kind of deciding what it wants to do in those areas. But overall, for $18, if you do find your shade, I think this foundation would be a good foundation. Honestly, I don't think it's worth $18, But yeah, overall, I definitely know I'm keeping the powder. I'm definitely returning the concealer. I'm definitely returning the foundation, the primer, and then I think I'm gonna hold on to the concealers because I don't have anything negative to say about the concealers at all, except, I don't know, I don't feel itchy or anything underneath my face anymore, but we'll see over the next few days after I take off everything if I notice I had an allergic reaction. So I just want to talk about my experience at Morphe. So I went to the Morphe store for the first time in the Dallas Galleria. It hasn't been open that long, but anyway, I went on the weekend. They were short-staffed, which I understand. I mean, even where I work, we're short-staffed. But I was the only one. It was me and 2 other people in there, and I was the only one at the makeup, at the when I first walked in, I was the only one at the foundation counter, and there was a lady that asked me if I needed help. I told her, yeah, I'm trying to find my shade, whatever. So she said, okay, we're a little short staffed right now, which I will send somebody over here to help you shortly. Okay, you know, so I'm waiting. And while I'm waiting, you know, I know how to match myself, so I'm just, you know, just going through all the shade ranges that were in my section of what I think my color was. And, you know, 2 other girls come in and walk up to the foundation counter, and the lady that was supposed to come help me goes to help those 2 ladies. And by the time I realized that someone came, because I was like so engaged and color matching myself, that I didn't even realize that the lady she sent came to help somebody else. So the lady that initially came to ask me if I needed help was like, hey, did you get help finding your shade? Because, you know, by this time I went to the makeup counter, and she's like, did you get help finding your shade? And she asked me, how did it go? And I said, well, I matched myself. I said the lady never came to help me find my shade, so I just basically matched myself, and my husband was in there with me. So whenever I was putting it on my chest and putting it on the side of my face, he was like, no, yes, no. And then whenever I used the 370, he was like, yeah, that's your color. So I told her, like, yeah, I ended up matching myself. And she's like, oh, I sent somebody over there to help you, whatever. She was like, well, maybe you found your shade before she came over there. I was like, no. I said, if you sent somebody over there, she actually came to go help the other people that had just walked up, not me. And I was like, but anyway, I told her, I said, I'm in a rush anyway because, you know, I gotta go and it's not a big deal or whatever. So that's just what I wanted to say. Like, if you working in a makeup store and somebody says they need help and you tell them you're gonna go get them some help, pay attention to like who it is that you're saying, let me go get you some help for. Because honestly, I don't think I look like the other 2 black girls that were standing next to me. But I know some people say that, you know, all black people look alike. Sometimes we do. But anyway, I'm just saying, like, I said all of that just to say, like, if you work somewhere and you tell somebody, hey, I'll get you some help, make sure the person you're telling to go help somebody, make sure you're able to describe what the person looks like. If you're not gonna personally walk the person over there to them, you know what I mean? Like, I feel like I could have not wasted so much time in there if they could have came over there and like went more in detail and just told me, like, you know, if you're this undertone, you want to stay in this section. If you're this, you know, main color, you want to, you know what I mean? I had to figure all that stuff out by myself while looking online, while looking at the Morphe website, and I feel like that could have really helped me a lot better. Because I'm sure that, you know, they learn a lot about the foundation and everything, and they're very, like, you know, educated on how to educate the consumer. So that was my story, y'all. Anyway, if you like this video, please give this video a thumbs up. Please remember to subscribe again if you're new to my channel. And until next time, I love y'all, and I'll see y'all in my next video. Bye.